Hi, everyone. Welcome to Family Yoga. We are so happy to be bringing yoga from our home to yours. So I am Jill Casey, and here today with me to practice yoga are my children, Kaylee and Carson. So we will begin with a brief breathing activity that is something that you can do at any time of the day to help to calm your nerves or even to just take a break from something. And then we'll go through several yoga poses. There are a couple partner poses that you can do if you have a partner in your home that can join you. And if not, we will offer you poses that you can do by yourself. And then at the end, there will be a brief meditation during our Shavasana. So let's get started. Come to a comfortable seat on your mat or your carpet, whatever place that you have decided to practice yoga today. I am sitting with my legs in a crisscross position, and I actually have a little bit of a pillow underneath me to help me be a little bit more comfortable. You can also sit on your knees if that helps you. So bring your hands to a comfortable position, so that can be in by clasping your hands in the middle, or you can bring your hands to your knees. Try to lengthen through the back, through your spine, and have your head neutral. Now go ahead and close over your eyes. Let's take a big breath in through your mouth and exhale through your mouth. Now what we're going to do is imagine a balloon. So with your eyes closed, picture your favorite color balloon. Now let's pretend that the balloon is blowing up. See that it's getting bigger and rounder. Now let the air out of the balloon and you see that the balloon is getting smaller. Let's pretend that when the balloon is filling up, that's in your belly. So we're going to take nice, big, deep breaths to fill up our belly. So this time, let's try to breathe in through our nose. Fill up that balloon. And now exhale, breathe out. Imagine the balloon again. Inhale, fill up the balloon. Exhale, let the balloon go down. Let's do it again. Breathe in and exhale. One more time. Inhale, make the balloon nice and big this time. Fill up your belly and exhale. Now go ahead and blink your eyes open, and we are going to go ahead and get started. So let's begin in a tabletop position. So in tabletop, we come to all fours. So shoulders are stacked over top of our elbows, over top of wrists. Hips are stacked over top of our knees. Your back should be nice and flat. Let's start with doing some cat-cows to warm up our back. So inhale, drop your belly and lift your head. Exhale, arch your back, and we go into cat pose. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, arch your back, drop your head. One more time, breathe in, look up. And breathe out, arch your back. Now from tabletop, we're actually going to step our right leg forward so that we're in a lunge. So now in this lunge, our legs are kind of close together. If that feels good to you, you can stay there. If you want to take that a little bit deeper, you can move your back leg back or your front leg forward. And so you're going to get a really good stretch on your hip. This is called dragon stretch. So we can leave our hands down by our sides, or if you'd like to bring your arms up, you can bring them up above your head, clasp your hands, point your fingers, and you can even reach back a little bit if that feels good. Inhale. Exhale. Let's come on down. And this time, sit back just a little bit, straighten your front leg, and bring your toes up to the sky. So we're going to stretch the muscle in the back of our legs called our hamstrings. So you can stay just like this, how I am with my hands on the mat and my head up. You can have your knee bent a little bit, or your leg might be straight. If you feel like you need to go a little bit deeper to get further in the stretch, you can bring your nose down towards your knee and bring your hands back further on the mat. Everybody's muscles are different, so everybody will look a little bit different when they're doing their poses, and that's okay. When we're doing yoga, it's not a competition. It's about what feels good for you. Now let's come forward again in our lunge. And this time we're going to do a half split. So bring that front foot forward a little bit more. So this again might look very different for different people. So you might have your knee bent up like this, and that's okay. If you can walk that leg out a little bit further in your half split, you can do that. And if you're able to go into a full split, you can also do that. So again, everybody has a very different body, and that's okay. So you need to honor what's good for you. So whatever position you're in, gently come back to your original lunge, and we'll step that foot back so we're back in our tabletop position. Let's just take a breath in tabletop for a minute. And now we're going to do that with our left leg. So step the left leg forward. So we're in a mini lunge. Again, if this feels good to you, you can stay just like that, or you can spread your legs a little bit more, bringing the front foot forward and the back leg back so that you're getting a nice stretch on your hip flexor. And we're in dragon pose now. Again, you can stay with your hands down by your sides, or if you'd like to try bringing them up above, clasp your hands together, point your fingers, and take a little baby back bend. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down. Let's sit our hips back just a bit. Bring our toes to face up toward the sky and start to straighten that front leg if you can. Again, if it's bent, that's okay. We're going to stretch the hamstring on the left leg now. You can stay just like this, or you can start to bring your nose down toward your knee. And now we'll go into half split. So if you're able to walk that front leg up a little bit more to come into your half split, you can do that. Or you can come all the way down into a full split. Any way this looks for you is perfect. And slowly bring that foot back into your original lunge, and then come back to tabletop again. Now curl your toes under, and let's push back to a downward facing dog. So hips come up to the sky. We have our feet about hip distance apart down at the bottom. Hands are about shoulder distance apart, and we're trying to work our heels down toward the ground. So we're in a V shape. You can pedal your feet out and stretch your calf muscles. Now slowly walk your feet up to the front of the mat, but stay bent over. Take a really deep bend to your knees, and fall over just like a rag doll would. You can keep your hands hanging down on the ground, or you can grab onto your opposite elbows with your hands. Allow your head to just hang. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Release any tension that you might be holding in your neck and your shoulders. And now release your hands and let's slowly come up, rising all the way up. Let's set up in our mountain pose. So bring your big toes to touch at the front of your mat, and your heels are just spread apart just a little bit. Your legs are active, so lift your kneecaps up so you're feeling the tightness in your legs, and your hands come down by your sides. Let's inhale, lift your shoulders up. Exhale, draw them down and back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, bring them down and back. All right, now we're going to get ready for a sun salutation. So inhale, bring your hands all the way up to the sky to touch in tall mountain. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center, forward fold. Bring your hands down to the mat and step your feet all the way back. So we're in a high plank now. So you can be in high plank trying to keep your back straight, or you can drop your knees when you're here. So that's also a good modification for you if you feel like you need that. Let's take another breath in our high plank, really helping to tighten our tummy muscles, strengthen through our core. Inhale, exhale, drop your knees, flip your feet. Now squeeze your elbows into the sides of your body and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the mat. We're going to move into Cobra now. So keep your hands right where they are, but zip your legs up together. So you're squeezing your legs together. You're pressing down the tops of your feet. Now gently lift the top of your shoulders up just a little bit to a baby cobra. You should feel that in your lower back. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Now let's do a bigger cobra. So bring your feet wide on the mat behind you. Now press all the way up into a full cobra. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. Exhale, come on down. Let's push up through a tabletop. Curl your toes under. Come up to a downward facing dog. One more breath. And let's come walking all the way up to the top of the mat and swing your arms out to your sides. Come all the way up and then come back to our mountain pose. So on our next sun salutation, we're going to try to go a little bit faster. And this time, if you would like to jump back, you can try to do that. So I'll have Kaylee show you what that looks like. So when you bring your hands down, instead of stepping your feet back, you can hop your feet back to a high plank. But if you do that, make sure you tighten your tummy muscles. You can also step your feet back. Ready? From mountain pose, inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Hands come down, step your feet back or jump your feet back, high plank. Hold our high plank for 2 breaths. Work those belly muscles. Now drop your knees, squeeze your elbows in and lower your chest all the way down to the mat. Inhale, come up to Cobra. Exhale, curl your toes under, and let's push back to downward facing dog. Now to come back to the top of your mat, you can step your feet up, or you can try to hop your feet up to the top of the mat. And arms come out to the sides, come all the way up. Let's try to do that a little bit faster. Touch your hands together. Take a baby back bend. Bring your hands through heart center, forward fold. Hands come down. Step or hop your feet to the back of the mat. Bring your knees down. Lower your chest down all the way. Inhale, come up to Cobra. Exhale, curl your toes. Push back, downward facing dog. Nice job. Now, on the next inhale, lift the right leg up behind you. And we're going to step the right leg through to the front of the mat. So in some cases, that might happen by coming here, here, and here, which is okay. Or you can do it in one movement, which is also fine. Let's rotate the back foot so the heel comes down. Your foot is kind of at an angle. And if we were to draw a line from your front foot to your back foot, the heels would be in a line. So these are warrior one feet, and we're going to rise all the way up. Let's start by putting our hands on our hips. Take your hips and turn them so that they are in line with the front of your mat or in the front of the room. Now, to finish warrior one, we bring our arms up to the sky. Front leg is bent. Inhale. Exhale. Let's open up to warrior two. So we peel our arms open. Back foot is now parallel to the back of the mat. Front leg is still bent at a 90-degree angle. And arms are out front and back. You look out over your front arm. That's warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring our hands around that front foot. Rotate the back foot so your heel comes up and you're on your toes. We're going to step the front foot back to meet the back. High plank. Let's hold high plank for 2 breaths. Now push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up behind you. And on the exhale, step your foot all the way through to the front of the mat. Rotate the back foot so your heel comes down. And then when you feel balanced, come all the way up. Front leg is bent. Hips should be turned to the front of the mat. Arms can come up by your ears. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, peel your arms open. Warrior two. Back foot is now parallel to the back of the mat. Front leg is still bent. Gaze goes out over your left arm. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to surround your front foot. Step the front foot back. High plank. Hold that for 2 breaths. Now bring your knees down. Squeeze your elbows into your side. Lower your chest all the way down. come up to Cobra. And then exhale, curl your toes under, push back, downward facing dog. And when you're ready, you can step your feet up or you can hop it to the front of the mat. Arms come out to the sides, come all the way up to standing, hands touch. Now come down to mountain pose. So we are moving into our balance posture, which is tree pose. So if you are doing this by yourself, you will start by bringing one foot down on the side and you'll bring your other leg up. If you have a partner, you're going to come next to your partner so that your sides are touching. Inside hands are touching. Front hands are pressing the palms together. And then your outside foot comes up on your leg. Try not to push on your knee. And if you are by yourself, you can bring your hands to your heart, or you can grow your tree limbs up to the sky. When you are trying to balance, it's important to try to find a spot or an object that's in front of you that is not moving. And if you hold your eyesight on that object, it will help you with your balance. Now with control, come out of that position. Shake your legs out. And if you're with a partner, switch sides. Bring your hips to touch, arms come up at the top, front hands touch palms, and then outside leg comes up in the tree posture. And if you're by yourself, you're going to do the opposite leg that you did the last time. Again, you can bring your hands to your heart, or you can grow those tree limbs up. Hold your balance. And with control, bring your feet down. And you can make your way back to your spot. We're going to do some back bends. So we'll do a partial back bend, which is called a camel pose. So to do camel, you just turn to the side. To do camel, you're going to come up on your knees, bring your hands behind your back with your fingers facing up. With your fingers facing up on your back. Now using your hands, you're going to push your hips forward and try to bring your shoulders back. Now you can stay just like that, or to go into a full camel, you can bring your hands down to your feet. Still pushing your hips forward, and this is like a half back bend. Good job. Slowly and carefully come out of that position. All right, for our second back bend position, this is a partner pose. So come back near your partner, and let's do that with it in a kneeling position facing each other. So for this position, you are clasping onto each other's hands and coming back into a back bend. So by holding each other's arms, you're going to support each other. And you have to trust the person that you're doing this with. If you are by yourself, you can try to do your camel pose again by flipping your hands and taking a back bend. And slowly come out, being careful with your partner, and go back to your spot on the mat. Now let's do just a few exercises for our core, our tummy muscles. So let's come to a seat with our feet on the mat. Knees are up to the sky. Let's start by bringing our hands behind us, bringing shoulders down and shining your heart. Now from here, we're going to move into boat. So trying to keep your shoulders down away from your ears, rock back and lift your legs up. You can leave your hands down on the mat, or you can bring your hands to support behind your legs, or your hands can come out long by your sides. One more breath. And crisscross, come back to a seated position. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, left hand comes to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you, and take a twist to the right side. Come back to center, sit up tall, hands come up. Right hand comes to your left knee, left hand comes right behind you, and then take the twist to the left side. Come back to center, bring your knees back up, feet back down on the mat. Tighten your belly muscles, hands come out to the side or holding the back of your legs, and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the mat. And we're going to do something called a drawbridge. So let's keep hands down by your sides with your palms pressing into the mat. Bring your feet up to the sky, so it's as if you are putting footprints onto the ceiling. Flatten your feet. Tighten your belly muscles. Inhale. Now slowly lower the drawbridge down to the mat. Slow, slow. Use your belly muscles. Slow, slow. Try not to drop them down. Hold them, hold them. Now slowly bring the drawbridge back up. And bring your knees in and give yourself a hug. That's a hard one. Good job, guys. All right, now we're going to do a hip opener called Reclined Pigeon. So in Reclined Pigeon, again, bring your knees back up the way that you had them. So how you just gave yourself a hug. And we're going to cross your right leg over top of your left knee. So you're making like a figure four kind of, okay? So one leg crossed over top of the other. Now in that position, if you're able to bring your hands through and clasp underneath your leg, you can try to bring your left leg in toward your body. And that should be opening up your right hip. Now slowly release that. And then we're going to do the opposite. So now the left leg is going to hook over top of the right. Hands come through your leg and you're trying to pull your right leg in toward your body. And slowly release that. Bring your knees in, give yourself another hug, and let's stretch our back out one more time. So keeping those knees into your chest. Take your right hand and bring your knees over gently to your right side of your body. Let's try to keep both shoulders down on the mat. Bring your left arm out to the side. And if you're able to look out over that left hand, you should feel a nice stretch on your back in this position. And slowly come out of that spinal twist. Bring your legs in for a little mini hug. And then use your left hand to bring your knees over to the left side, all the way down to the ground. Right arm comes out to the right. And if you are able to look out over your right hand, slowly bring your legs back in. Give yourself a big hug this time. And now allow your legs to just fall down on the mat. Bring your legs out long. Let your feet just flap open. Now we're moving into the last pose of yoga, which is called the Shavasana. And Shavasana is important because it gives your body a break, but it also gives your mind a break. So when you're in your Shavasana, you're trying to let all the wiggles out before we start. So try to get yourself into a comfortable position. Bring your hands down to your side or on your belly. Close over your eyes and try to allow yourself to just relax and be comfortable in your mat. Now we're going to do a visualization meditation for our Shavasana. So your legs should just feel limp and relaxed. They feel so heavy as if you don't even want to move them because they're just so relaxed. Allow your body to continue to relax while we use our imagination to picture something wonderful. In your mind, pretend you are taking out a magical bubble blower out of your pocket. It looks like any bubble blower, but this one has real magic in it. It was small in your pocket, but now, as you pull it out, you realize it becomes enormous. It's a lot bigger than any bubble blower you've ever seen before. Now you can start to blow through the bubble blower in your imagination to make a big, giant bubble. As you do this, I want you to put any worry or fear that you have about anything, put that fear into the bubble. Continue blowing that bubble up until you think it's big enough. And as you finish, watch how a strong, friendly wind comes along and carries your worry bubble far, far away. It carries it so far away that you don't have to worry about that again. In your mind, watch as that bubble goes away. You can blow up as many bubbles as you need with your magic bubble blower. You can put anything in there that's bothering you and watch as the wind carries that bubble far away. And as we finish our Shavasana, why don't you go ahead and wiggle your toes and your fingers. Bring your knees up to your belly and give yourself one last big hug. And then push yourself up to a seated position. You can sit crisscross or you can sit on your knees. Inhale, hands come up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to your heart. You can bring your forehead down to your hands. And in yoga, we finish by saying Namaste, which means, may the light in me honor the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
I hope you all enjoyed this. And remember, you can use the balloon breathing activity that we did at the beginning or the bubble imagination activity at the end anytime that you need to during the days. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.